be part of all of this. It's an honor.
Yeah, John?
Yes, David, you go ahead. You have a question.
Yeah, well, just a quick question. When you get together with these people once a month, are you only going through the 4 questions and then waiting to see what happens? Or do you come with any content, any type of curriculum strategy, anything? Or is it only the 4 questions once a month for 9 months?
No. Basically, it's the 4 questions. I want to hear their hearts. I want to hear how they're doing with their walk with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
These questions point to that, and they point to key areas where we're called to grow and mature. I'm assuming that people may be involved in a Bible study, or they may be involved. I hope that this isn't the only thing that they're doing, but this is the way for them to begin to integrate, their walk with the Lord and deepen. And they may at some point want to find a more active group, with the 22 questions with Wesley and that, but it's deliberately not designed to be content oriented. I find that we're already so much up in our head that we're not talking from the heart. And does that help?
Yeah, no, that's a nice clarification. Thank you.
Okay. I want to do a little bit of a test and with you. How many of you feel that you have a good handle on what your gifts are, and if you have some, I call them heroes out there. I'm mentoring, for example, a 23-year-old Asian guy that is a worship leader. He was in Australia for a couple of years at Hillsong, and he's amazing. He's leading worship in one of the larger millennial churches in Vancouver, and I said, "Do you have people that you look to as models?" And he said, "Oh yes, there's a couple of people in particular that, and it's not their music. It's very interesting." He said, "I'm looking at their lives, how they're walking out their relationship with Jesus." And a lot of these people are blogging now and talking about their ups and downs with the Lord. And so that level of transparency is very, very important. And I said, why don't you reach out to them and begin to, build a relationship with them, Any other thoughts?
I think I used to work I worked as a career counselor for a few years.
Yes.
And that was really interesting because there comes a moment when you're actually talking to a person when you see a light bulb. It's like a light bulb moment for them. They actually suddenly realize who they are or how they're gifted. And I think sometimes in churches we don't really get to know people well enough sometimes to actually understand who they are and what's really in their heart.
Yes.
And I think it's really important of what you just said, to hear what's in somebody's heart.
Yes. Yeah, I'll often ask that question, before I meet with someone, and say, Lord, what's on your heart for this person? How do you see them? And it changes everything. We had a social worker that I was doing some training in her church, and she came to me and said, John, I just been hired on to work with youth at risk. And these are kids that were getting into trouble and ending up, the police were after them all the time. And I said, oh, those kids don't know how lucky they are. And she sort of looked at me, because this is a woman that could get revelation, knowledge. And I said, all you need to do is ask the Lord about these kids and start speaking their destiny over them. And people begin to weep. I love being on a plane because I have a captive audience for a few hours. And I just asked, Lord, what's on your heart for this person? And I just begin to share with them, and they're just, weeping and that. And, how do you know this? Well, God has shown me, because he loves you. He cares for you deeply. And but I see you doing that a lot, Linda. I have maybe 3 encounters a month like that are sort of, wow, God gives revelation with people. And my prayer is simply, can I have 4 a month, or 5 a month, and just to incrementally increase in that. And so I see you really speaking into people's lives in a very significant way. And then, find people that are doing that and say, what are some of the things that you learned that helped you to come alongside, and
My husband does it all the time.
yeah,
Nobody's safe around my husband. He does it all the time.
yeah,
If you're living, breathing, and moving, he'll talk to you and
yeah,
he'll say, "This is what I believe God's showing me."
it's,
He does it all the time.
it's great. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Again, it's how it's modeled, how
yeah.
people are living into their walk with God, that way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now,
So I've really enjoyed this evening. Thank you so much.
well, I'm so glad that you're able to join us, and um, so maybe we'll visit you someday in Australia.
Oh, you never know. Maybe I'll come visit you guys. I've
Oh,
always wanted to go to Canada.
you're more than welcome. Um,
We nearly went to Canada instead of come when we were choosing either to go to Canada or Australia from Scotland,
oh, really?
and we were accepted to come to Australia first.
Yes. Yeah.
So we came to Australia.
Well, it's our loss in Canada. That's too bad.
Oh, we can Zoom. It's great.
I know.
There's
But
no distance now, is there? It's
my
like
my
it's good.
email is in that document, so if I can support you in any way, if that's something you feel drawn to explore, Linda, I would be more than happy to do whatever I can to.
Yeah, I actually run a women's group. It's actually an online. I've got an online women's group. It's been going for nearly 11. I think it's about 11 years,
That's wonderful.
and it's for Australian Christian women.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we've
you
got
might.
there's a
This is designed as
sorry.
this is designed not as a group thing. It's a one-on-one thing, and that
Yeah,
you
yeah, I understand.
2 or 3 people from that group and just ask the Lord, and then get them, and then gradually the whole group will begin to. But it's a mindset that you begin to build into people. You begin to encourage.
Yeah,
You begin to
yeah,
love people into a deeper place in their walk with God.
yeah. That's what we try to do. So that's good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, bless you. It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. God bless you all. I'm going to disappear on you now.
All right.
It's 10 past 11 in the morning. It's time I did something.
All right. Bless you.
Bless you. Night.
Now, I wanted to inquire, is this the Harveys from Nova Scotia that's quietly there with P. Harvey? Is that Phyllis Harvey? He dare not come on the screen, John.
Yeah, maybe am I on now?
Yes, you are on now.
Okay, now this is
Brian?
Yes, it's Brian listening. Very good meeting. I'm quite enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you were able to jump in. I've really enjoyed getting to know Glenn. Glenn is a very strongly foundational guy. I mean, he's laying a biblical foundation, and I thought tonight I'll just tell stories, and
Right.
a little bit of scripture, but not a lot. So, how are things in Nova Scotia?
Oh, the weather is quite good. We're having an easy fall so far.
That's good. Well, I miss you all. I'm looking forward to when the bubble disappears so that I can come visit.
That would be nice.
Yeah. We had the coronavirus in March, so we're immune, so our medical people tell us, but we still have to follow all the guidelines.
Right.
So anyway, so so anyway, oh, John's disappeared. So it's just you and me.
Apparently.
I I appreciated your comments